Everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's question is longest palindromic substring. If you are here, that means either you are interested in solving LeetCode problems or you are preparing for a technical interview. Then you are at the right place and you should definitely consider subscribing to our channel. And congratulations to those who have joined our Discord group as a CR community growing day by day, which is helping a lot of students and job seekers. As always, you can find all the links in the description below. So that being said, let's see what the question says. So given a string S, we have to find the longest palindromic substring in the string S. So let's see. In example number 1, the input is BABAD. And in this string S, we need to find the longest substring, which is a palindrome. So let's see. The output is BAB. As you can see that BAB is the longest substring, which qualifies as a palindrome. In example number 2, the input is CBBD. And in this string, the output is BB, as BB is the only longest substring, which is also a palindrome. So that's it for the question. Now we will see the explanation. So before solving the question, you should know what a palindrome is. And for that, you should definitely look at the question valid palindrome. If you are able to solve this valid palindrome question, that means this question should be really easy for you. I have already solved this question on this channel before, and the link is in the description below. You should definitely go and watch that question and then come and solve this question. So let's see the question. We are given a string S. Let's take the first example, which was BABAD. And we need to find the longest substring, which is a palindrome. So palindrome is a string which is read same forward and backward. And what I mean by that is, let's say we have a name Nitin. So when I reverse this string, I get the same string, and this qualifies as a palindrome. So we need to find the longest palindrome in the string given to us. So if you have done the valid palindrome question before, you would know then to check whether a string is a palindrome or not, we have to do two things. First, we need to reverse the string and then compare the two strings. What I mean by that is, let's say we are given the string Nitin. So first we will reverse this string and we get Nitin. And after reversing, we compare these two strings character by character. So first we compare the first character, then the second, then the third, and so on and so forth. As long as all the characters are matching, it is a true palindrome. Let's say we are given a string A, B, B, C. First we will reverse this string, we get C, B, B, A. And then we have to compare these two strings. Now when we compare the first character, it is A and C. Since both of them are not equal, clearly this string is not a palindrome. Clearly this string is not a palindrome, and we will return false. So for our question, the first thing that we can do is, we can try reversing this string and then comparing both of these strings. After comparing both of these strings, when we compare them character by character, we will get the longest substring, which is a palindrome. So let's see how we can do that. So when I reverse this string, I get DA, BA, B. And the next thing is to compare the letters. The first letters are B and D. Since both of them are not equal, I move to the next letter, which is A. Since both of them are A, I store this string somewhere. Then I move to the next letter and I have B. Since both of them are same, I add B in my string. Next, I come to A. Since both of them are equal, I add that into my string. Next, I come to D. And this string is not equal. So ABA was the longest substring in this string, which is a palindrome. So that was easy, right? But can we apply this logic in this question? Let's try and do that. So if you see in the code here, first I'm just clearing up some edge cases. that if my string is an empty string, then I'm going to return just an empty string. Next, if the length of my string is equal to 1, then I'm simply going to return my string s. Next, on line number 10, I'm reversing my string. I have an empty string result, and after that I'm using a for loop for I in range length of my string s, and then I'm going to compare character by character of the string s and the reverse string. So whenever the characters match, I'm going to add those characters into my empty string result. And at the end, I'm simply going to return my result. So let's see what happens when we run this solution. Clearly, for the first case, it is accepted. But when I submit it, it won't be accepted. Let's see. So it says wrong answer. It says that I have passed 33 out of 103 test cases. So clearly there is something wrong with our logic. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to come up with a different logic. So our logic was working fine for cases like these. But what happens? We have a case like this. Okay, so let's say we have this string. First, we have to reverse this string. And after reversing, this is what we get. So when we start comparing these two strings, the first characters are equal. So we add A in a string. Next we come to B. B is also equal. We add B. Next we come to A. A is also equal. Next we come to C. Again, C is equal. Next we come to D. D is also equal. And next we come to F, and F is not equal. So this is where our string ends. Now when we come to this D, again these two are equal. So I will add this D into a string. Next we come to C. Again the C is equal. Next I come to A. A is also equal. Next I come to B. This is also equal. And next I come to A. So according to this logic, this is the answer we should get. But clearly, if you look at these answers, these are not palindromes. Why? Because this list, when read backwards, is not equal to this string. Basically, this is not a palindrome. And that's why the answer is wrong. So we can try solving this question using brute force. And in brute force, the solution is to pick all possible starting and ending position for a substring, and then we verify if it is a palindrome or not. But in that case, the time complexity will be O of n cube, which is not really a great answer. So for our question, we are going to look at something else. So let's say, in the string given to us in example number 1, we have BA, BAD. And the answer was BAB or ABA. Right. So if you look at both of these answers, starting at the middle position, if we move right of this middle element and left of this middle element, we can see that both of these elements are equal. Same for this. We start from the middle, which is B. We go to the right and we go to the left. And both of the elements at right and left are equal. And that is a palindrome. Let's say we have a bigger string. So let's say in this BAB, we add two more elements, A and A, both at the starting and ending of the string. Now starting from the middle, we move to the right, we move to the left. We compare both of these elements. Both of these elements are equal. So in that case, we will move forward. We move to the right, we move to the left. Again, we compare the elements and both of these elements are equal. That means it's a true palindrome. So I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So what we have to do is, we have to start from the middle of the string and keep expanding to the right and left. And keep comparing the elements. As long as the elements are equal, we have our substring. So let's see, we have a string S, C, B, B, D. So in this case, the string is even, right? We have 4 characters. So when we have an even string, the middle will be 2 characters. For example, in this string, the middle will be these 2 characters, B and B. And we have to expand around these 2 strings, right? So for an even string, we are going to take 2 middle characters and expand around them to the left and right. But when we have an odd string, let's say this string, then in this case, the middle will be a single element, which is B. And we have to expand around this element, right? So in the first example, let's see how the iteration works. We will take the first two elements, C and B, and expand around them. Now we can expand to the right, but we cannot expand to the left. So we come to the next two characters, which is B and B. Now we have these two characters, we expand to the right, we expand to the left. We compare these two characters which are not equal. So in this case, the result will be BB, right? Now let's check the odd string. In the beginning of the iteration, we come to A. Again, we can expand to the right, but we cannot expand to the left. So we move to the next element and we come to B. We expand to the right, we reach B. We expand to the left, we have A. And these two elements are not equal. So we come to the next element, which is B. Now we expand to the right, we expand to the left. Both of these are equal. So again, we will expand to the right, we will expand to the left. Again, both of these are equal. And we have finished our search. So in this case, this complete string is the answer, because this is a valid palindrome. So this is the basic logic, right? For the even string, we have 2 pointers. And for the odd string, we have a single pointer. We will start comparing at the beginning of the string. And we expand to the right and the left. We compare both the elements at right and left. And while both of them are equal, we keep expanding. And when they are not equal, we stop our search and we add that to the result. And at the end, we return this result. So that was the basic logic. So for this question, the time complexity will be big O of n square. Since expanding a palindrome around the center could take big O of n time. So the overall complexity is big O of n square. And the space complexity in this case will be, since we are not taking any extra space. So for an interview, this is a very good answer. But we also have a different approach known as the Maneker's algorithm, which has a complexity of big O of n. If you want me to make a video on Maneker's algorithm, I can definitely do that. If you guys want me to make another video on Maneker's algorithm, please comment down below. I can definitely make a separate video on that algorithm. But as far as the technical interview goes, this is a accepted answer. So that's it for the explanation. Now we will see the code. In the meanwhile, please give this video a thumbs up. This really motivates us to make more videos and help us to grow. Now let's see the code. So for the sake of this question, I have made a helper function in which I am passing the following parameters: the string s and the left and right pointers. So I need to check some certain conditions, for which I am going to use a while loop in which my L pointer should be greater than or equal to 0 and my right pointer should be less than the length of my string s. And I also need to make sure that both the elements and left and right pointers are equal. So in this case, we have a palindrome and I'm going to move my left and right pointers forward. So my left will decrease by 1 and my right will increase by 1. And I'm going to return the substring, starting from the left till right pointer. So this is the helper function which helps me to expand around the center, check for the elements and return the substring. On line number 2, I have my empty string result. Next, I'm using a for loop for I in range length of my string s. So I have made two variables, odd and even. Odd will work when we have a odd string and even will work for the even string. So when we have an odd string, I'm going to use that helper function on my string s, and my left and my right pointers both start at I. That means in the beginning my I will be 0 and both of the left and right pointers will be pointing at the 0 element, which is now A, right? And for the even string, let's say we have a string A, B, B, A. So I'm going to use that helper function On my string S, my left pointer is I, which is 0, and my right pointer is I plus 1, which is 1. So my left pointer will point at A and my right pointer will point at B, right? We have 2 pointers and we will expand around the center. So this helper function will expand around the center, check the elements and return the string. And that string will be added to my result. And since we have to pick the longest string between the odd, even and result, I am going to pick the substring which has the maximum length. And at the end, I am going to return that result. So that was the code. I will now submit it.